Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 7 of Reclassified Movies, the series in which I cover movies that had their BBFC age ratings either higher or lowered over time, and I say which rating I agree with more. Really not much more to say. Without further ado, let's begin with this video. So first one is Friday the 13th from 1980, which was reclassified from 18 to 15. Something to note with this one, the theatrical version of this film is the 15 rated version, and the uncut version, which I believe is the widely available version in the UK, is still rated 18. So when it came out in cinemas in 1980, it got an X certificate equivalent of 18 in 1980, and then it got a home entertainment release in 1987 which was rated 18, which was that theatrical version, and then it got a DVD release in 2003 which was 18 for contains strong violence and horror, and that was the uncut version. And then the theatrical version got a theatrical re-release in 2023 which was rated 15 for strong violence, bloody images, threat, sex. Having seen the theatrical version, I agree with the 15 more. The scenes in the unrated version aren't that bad, and that version would almost definitely be rated 15 if viewed today, but all the violent scenes in this film are brief and have no focus on detail, especially in the 15 rated theatrical version, so I agree with the 15 more. Friday the 13th Part 2 was also reclassified from 18 to 15. When it was released in cinemas in 1981, it was rated X. It got a home entertainment release in 1987 where it was rated 18. Another home entertainment release in 2001 where it was rated 18. According to the BBFC website / app, another home entertainment release in 2001 which was rated 18, where it states the ratings info is contains strong violence and horror. And then it got another home entertainment release in 2008 which was 15 for contains strong horror, violence and threat. I agree with the 15 rating more. Similarly to the first one, there's no focus on detail and the killings here really aren't that bloody, so I agree with the 15 more. Moving on to Friday the 13th Part 3, this is very similar to Part 2. Released in cinemas in 1982, got an X rating, got a home entertainment release in 1987 with an 18 rating, another home entertainment release in 2001 with an 18 rating. According to the BBFC website / app, another home entertainment release in 2001 which was rated 18 for contains strong bloody violence, and then another home entertainment release in 2008 which was 15 for contains strong bloody violence. I agree with the 15 rating more. You know, it's really not 18 worthy by today's standards, and that's kind of all I have to say. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, was also reclassified from 18 to 15. When it was released in cinemas in 1986, it was rated 18. It got a home entertainment release in 1987 where it was rated 18. Keep in mind, this is all according to the BBFC website / app. I'm just reading what is on there. I don't think all of this information is 100% accurate, but it states there was another home entertainment release in 2002 which was rated 15 for contains frequent, moderate, bloody violence and horror, and then it says there's another home entertainment release in 2002. Yeah, this was the first Friday the 13th movie to be reclassified, I believe, and if that is the case, that doesn't surprise me. It's one of the more tame Friday the 13th movies. It's very comedic in places, so the film overall isn't horrific. I agree with the 15 more. Next up, we have The Silence of the Lambs, which was reclassified from 18 to 15. For a theatrical release in 1991, it was rated 18. It got a home entertainment release in 1991 where it was rated 18. A home entertainment release in 2001 where it was rated 18. Another home entertainment release in 2001 where it was rated 18. A home entertainment release in 2004 where it was rated 18. And a theatrical re-release in 2017 which was 15 for strong violence, gore, sex references, very strong language. I agree with the 15 more. I've seen people say it's a hard 15 and it's clear why it got an 18 when it came out, but I think a 15 is more appropriate. I just don't think it's graphic or detailed enough for an 18 despite being very disturbing. Next up, we have one that I can't believe is actually on here. We have Jurassic Park. Yes, for its 30th anniversary theatrical re-release last year, Jurassic Park was reclassified from PG to 12A. For its original theatrical release in 1993, it was rated PG. It got a home entertainment release in 1994, which was rated PG. Another theatrical release in 1994, which was PG, called Jurassic Park in brackets Hindi. The BBFC lists that on their website / app, which I think is interesting. Another home entertainment release in 1995, which was rated PG. A home entertainment release in 2000, which was rated PG, where the BBFC says the insight was contains moderate violence and threat. A theatrical re-release in 2013, where it's PG for contains moderate violence and threat. Another home entertainment release in 2013 where it's PG for contains moderate fantasy, horror and mild language. And finally, a 30th anniversary theatrical re-release last year which was 12A for moderate threat, violence, bloody images. I said this in my video, I made on this when it happened, but it's just weird for me personally seeing this film at 12A, and it will be for many other people as well, because I just grew up with this film and I've known it as PG my whole life, and just seeing it being rated 12A now is really just interesting to me. I'm not surprised at all though. When I was rewatching the Jurassic movies, or most of the Jurassic movies, I didn't rewatch all of them, but most of them, I really thought this is a hard PG. The sustained scenes of threat to children are intense, and I was really unsurprised when this got reclassified 12A. I agree with the 12A slightly more on this one. ABBA the movie got a theatrical release in 1978 where it was rated U, a home entertainment release in 1987 where it was rated U, a theatrical re-release in 2008 where it was rated U for contains mild sex references, language and an innocuous drug reference, and a theatrical re-release last year where it was rated PG for mild sex references, language. Getting straight to the point here, I agree with the PG more. For most of it, it is a U-rated film. There are a couple of moments which obviously got it the PG rating for its theatrical re-release. It's really not that bad overall. There is a subtitled use of the S-word in a different language, which the BBFC doesn't know, which I think is interesting. Yeah, I agree with the PG slightly more on this one. Well, slightly more, I agree with the PG more on this one. Then we have Christine, reclassified from 18 to 15. For its theatrical release in 1983, it was rated 18. You got home entertainment releases in 1986, 1994, and 1999, where it was rated 18. And on the 1999 one, the BBFC attaches the ratings info, very strong language, strong sex references. And then it got a theatrical re-release last year for its 40th anniversary, where it's rated 15 for very strong language, strong threat, bloody images, sex references. And I agree with the 15 more on this one. The sex references aren't 18 worthy, and the amount of uses of very strong language are containable within 15. Casper is now a 12A, believe it or not. Yep, they got a theatrical release in 1995, which is rated PG. Home entertainment releases in 1996 and 2003, and the BBFC attaches the ratings info, contains mild language, violence, and ghost horror for both of them. And then it got a theatrical re-release last year in 2023, which was rated 12A for moderate bad language. The version that was re-released last year was cut. The BBFC states this work had a compulsory cut made. A cut was required to remove a misleading category symbol. Cut made in accordance with BBFC policy, so I just thought I'd mention that. I didn't watch this one for this video because I didn't need to. It's a 12A for moderate bad language. It has uses of the B word in it, so I guess I agree with the 12A more because it has moderate bad language in it. I didn't watch it for this video. This is one of those films that shows you that no film is safe from reclassification, kind of. I did watch this when I was very young at nursery. I can't remember anything about that experience, but that does make this the first 12A I ever saw. Our final film today is the most interesting one in my opinion, and one that I'm not 100% sure of. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is not a reclassified movie. However, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about it. The Intruders was reclassified from 18 to 15 last year in 2023, I think. When it was first viewed for a home entertainment release in 2015, it was rated 18 for strong sadistic violence, and that was interesting because it made it one of the only films in existence to be rated 18 in the UK, but PG-13 in America. It got another home entertainment viewing last year in 2023, where it was rated 15 for strong violence, threat, sexual threat. I'm going to read out the violence description in the full ratings info that the BBFC wrote for The Intruders when they viewed it in 2015, because there's one scene that got it the 18 rating. They write, "Violence. A scene of strong violence shows a bound and gagged woman being suffocated when a plastic bag is placed over her head. There is a focus on the victim's suffering and her fear, with her face being seen in close shot as she struggles for air. This act is recorded on a camcorder, and brief images of the suffocation are replayed in subsequent scenes. Other moments of strong violence include stabbings with a little blood in the aftermath." I'm going to read out what they wrote for the 2023 viewing of it. "Violence. A scene of strong violence shows an off-screen man suffocate a bound and gagged woman using a plastic bag. This act is recorded on a camcorder, and brief images of the suffocation are replayed in subsequent scenes. Other moments of strong violence include stabbings with a little blood in the aftermath." So here's the thing. I watched this movie on Prime Video, on Amazon Prime, and I don't remember that scene being so sadistic, and as the BBFC describes, there being a focus on the victim's suffering and her fear, with her face being seen in close shot as she struggles for air. The version I saw, it was like, from what I remember, and I might be misremembering, but from what I remember, it was just off screen. And I just searched up that scene on YouTube, and the full movie's on YouTube, so I just went on that and went to that scene. And it literally shows what the BBFC describes in the 18 rated version. So I think it's a case of there being an 18 rated cut and a 15 rated cut. I think that the 15 rated cut is like the PG-13 version, because what the BBFC describes in the 18 rated version, like that version of it, doesn't feel like it would be PG-13. I feel like that is an unrated version after having watched the scene on YouTube, and then I think the 15 rated version is the PG-13 version. I don't know that for sure. Those are just my theories because I can't find any information about this online. And I believe the version I watched was the 15 PG-13 version if it is a case of there being an 18 and 15 rated cut. I do want to mention though, when I rented it off Amazon, it said unrated. It said The Intruders in brackets unrated, even though the version they showed was the PG-13 version if it is the case of there being two versions. So maybe an unrated version of this does exist, just Amazon put the wrong version up despite saying it's unrated. And I was gonna rent it again just now to check everything, but they only have the option to buy it now, even though I rented it only a couple of weeks ago, and it's £7.99, and I'm not doing that, so sorry about that. I might email the BBFC just to check everything and see if they have any more information they can tell me. I don't know. And maybe I'm just misremembering. Maybe the version I watched did have all the sadistic stuff in it. It's also important to note that the BBFC removed the descriptions of the sadistic stuff in the 2023 viewing in the violence description in the full ratings info. So I feel like it is a case of there being 2 cuts, but again, I don't know for certain. Maybe Amazon have put up the unrated version now, and that's an explanation for the purchase option change, why I can only buy it now and not rent it. Maybe they did put up the correct unrated version if that exists, and if that is the case, I don't know. That's all I can tell you about the Intruders. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. Feel free to comment any movies that have been reclassified that I haven't included in any of these videos. This series is made with the help of you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.